Wi-Fi Sheep would like to say a huge thank you to all of you that kindly support us. Help us continue to bring new videos like this. Join patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep from just $1 a month. Hi, how you doing? And a warm welcome back to youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep with me, Tom. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, but an auction lot for what is claiming to be an original 1976 Apple I has appeared on eBay. The bidding has gone mad. I think it's worth us having a chat about it. Now, the Apple I was the first product to be made in a garage in California, USA, and was hand-built by Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs. The story of the Apple I has been retold many a time. Add the historic value and the cult of Apple and the legacy of Steve Jobs, and these things, working or non-working, go for big money. Normally in world-famous auction houses, not randomly showing up on eBay, which leaves many questions. There are a number of Apple I clone and replica systems out there, and not all surviving original Apple I units have been fully verified yet. So my instant reaction when I first saw the news about the listing was this had to be a fake. But with the auction coming to a close, and at time of recording, bidding at an astonishing £160,000 plus, put it this way, you can buy a house for that around here. Let's take a closer look at the listing. I love the fact that I put it in my save watch list just so I could pick it up at a later date. And it's like, bid now so you can get a deal. And as I said in the intro, you can see here the well, it's gone over $200,000, which is about £160,000. So it's about 3 times my net worth at the moment in the bidding. So yeah, as I said, 160, not everywhere because house prices have gone up, but it would buy you a house in this part of England. So yeah, so I said overall, I looked at this and it looks very real, and I've kind of come to the conclusion that it is real. The presentation is actually very good. Let's just scroll down. And yeah, so own a piece of history, and you know the description listing is really, you know, gone to town. So a little bit of history, the lot description, 4K of RAM, operators manuals, obviously some of the historic photographs to give it some gravitas. Here's a photograph of the board itself. So it's interesting just to have a quick look to see if there's anything that would make you think it wasn't authentic. The CPU it's an original Sonitech or Cinetech part, and it's been signed by Woz. Now, you see the white top on the chip? That means it's actually an original ceramic IC as opposed to later plastic ICs. So that's a good sign. I mean, I'm not an expert on Apple I's by any stretch of imagination. We've got the original, I believe they are the original, or at least part correct parts for the capacitors. It did say some parts have been replaced or with like parts. Now on the back here, you see here the silk screen has got this bubbling and rippling. Modern PCB silk screens don't normally do this. This is kind of something you got right through into the 80s, where PCBs would sort of ripple up. That's not corrosion, it's just the way the kind of the foil almost of the metal kind of ripples over time. So again, that shows some age. So it is looking promising. The keyboard is a proper cherry one, USA. And you got the power transformer. Look at the 2-line transformers. So you needed 2 voltages, and I forget what the voltages are. I think they're 5 volts and I want to say 12, but I'm not an expert, and that's probably wrong. But look at you see the windings. So these are wax-filled power transformers, and you can actually just see the windings here and how it's kind of deteriorated over time. So again, modern transformers don't look like this, and they certainly don't do that overnight. So again, there's some age. if we look at the accessories, these are particularly interesting. The so it's got the board for the tape deck, tape interface board, which was non-standard. We've got some more information here on the device. Yes, and it's actually got photographs of the genuine signing of this particular board by Steve Wozniak, the co-creator and co-founder of Apple. So and there's a little bit about the museum. They've even got pictures of the unit running under a flare infrared heat camera. It shows you kind of how hot things run or don't run. So also notice how the payment system needs to go not through PayPal, but for another service. So yeah, it looks generally real. Now there was a bit in here which I'm just going to find. It talks about which board this actually is. So here we are. This I can't even Skrelenberg. I can't even pronounce that. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But basically, it talks about two boards that are already acknowledged as being on the Apple One registry. Now, if you haven't seen this before, this is the Apple One registry website. It's appleoneregistry.com, and here it is. This is actually the unit in question, number 89 in the registry, and the location is UAE, Dubai. Verification, work condition, working, and the current owner. And here are some photographs. And if we go back to the actual listing, let's just scroll back to the top. You can see here, there it is, location, Dubai, United Arab Emirates. So that checks out. This machine is known about and is actually on the registry. What's interesting, verification, is that verified then or not? It doesn't say. So the history of this particular unit, it showed up for auction in New York in 2019. There we are. Last bid auction was, where are we? Bid auction plus buyer's premium. So it went for 162,500. That's US dollars. So that's 162. We've gone past 200 thousand US dollars here. So interestingly, the payments say they would accept PayPal, but then down here they're saying they're not. So yeah, it's interesting. It comes with the original Sanyo Japanese TV unit as well. That's unusual. And of course the Panasonic tape deck. It is presented very well, and it's just, I don't think, I'm trying to think of a time I've known one of these come up on eBay. And there probably is a time. There's probably a time before I was looking at any kind of retro stuff. Maybe in the early days of eBay something showed up, but highly, highly unusual to actually have one show up on eBay, especially now in 2022. How long we got left on the auction? Time recording 1 day 22 hours. It's going to end on the 12th of June. It's the 10th when I'm recording this today. Gosh, what do we think this is going to go for? 92 bids on it already. So what do we reckon? Be really interested to hear your thoughts, so leave them in the comments as to what you think this is going to go for. By the way, I'll drop all the links to all this in the description, so you'll be able to find it, and you can watch it for yourself. So I think we can establish that this looks to be the real deal. If it's a fake, it's certainly a very good one. But I honestly think the listing would have been pulled. It will be interesting to see just how much this goes for in the end, and if the winning bidder actually pays up, and which part of the world this increasingly priceless item ends up in, assuming it will be leaving the Middle East. Well, that's just about it for me for now. Thanks so much for your company once again. If you haven't done already, please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. You can follow me over on Twitter. It's at Wi-Fi Sheep. That's at Wi-Fi Sheep on Twitter. If you're feeling particularly generous, you can join our Patreon scheme from just £1, $1. It's over at patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. And as always, I will see you real soon right here on the channel. Until next time, bye for now.